What are the most challenging parts of the job?
Like, obviously, like, you will get issues that arise that you have to deal with. Like, obviously, I think with social media, like, things can really get blown up. So sometimes, like, there'll be something that's quite a small issue, but obviously people will pick up on it, and then it kind of just flies, and you think, "Oh god,
Is that your
not now."
job to deal with that?
Yeah.
I mean, using this year's download toilet situation, I mean, that blew up. Is that then on your team to deal with that?
Yeah. So, like, really, I mean, it's teamwork. You're kind of working with the whole you're working with the whole team behind the scenes, like, on stuff like that. And obviously, it's really frustrating when something like that happens because, like, with that was like one person who sent an email that they shouldn't have sent and didn't at all, like, reflect the feelings of anybody else that works there. So I think it was really and I think we also knew that there was not gonna be an issue on site because it was all, they're really like, Download, I think, the thing that we're most proud of with it is that it's so welcoming, like, it's such a safe space for everybody, like, it's really nice, like, every year we have TV crews come down, um, and, like, film, or radio crews, and they'll just, like, broadcast their full show from Download there. And so they're just grabbing people, walking around for little vox pops, whatever. And, like, every time I'm stood there and I listen to the things people say, like, I tear up because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, it's so nice." 'Cause, like, the things they come out with, you feel as if you, like, paid them to say it. Like, they'll be like, "This is home for me," like, in my real life, I don't feel like I belong anywhere, and they say, like, "Then I come to Download and I found my tribe." Like, I found my home, I found my people. Like, it is like coming home. And, like, they just say these, like, really wonderful things, and, like, every time I'm like, "Oh," like, it's so nice. But, like, that is what Download, I think, is really like, it's one of its best points, it's just so lovely and, like, just such a nice, safe space that I think then that was a really hard time for us because we knew that that wasn't gonna be the case on site. Nobody thinks that, like, I think I think every toilet was gender neutral, actually.
I think they were so
I d
clean.
I didn't see one, they're so clean.
They were
But I think
spotless.
but I think what was gutting them for everyone was, like, ahead of time was that was always the plan. Like, they were always just gonna have those. They were like, "Right, we're just gonna make sure that everybody feels safe and welcome." They'd put this, like, huge investment into toilets, and then that happened, and I think it was really, like, it was just really hard. But, obviously we came through the other side.
Is it hard seeing all the things that are just fake and not true? Like people
Oh,
saying, "Oh, they're gonna be
yeah.
checking your genitals," and not being
We
able to respond, or can you respond?
You can't respond, and that is what's really difficult because you wanna be like, "No, don't be silly, like, of course they're not gonna do that."
Who comes up with the
But
rule?
I think then obviously Download is part of Live Nation, so it's obviously a very big kind of company. And, like, then I think you also have to be so careful because I also think, like, any of this is part of our job, is knowing that, like, if you do reply, um, if you're, like, replying, if you're saying too much, it can then really backfire on you, and then sometimes if you, like, keep it you're almost, like, fueling the fire, you're making it carry on, and then people are just, like, you're never gonna keep everybody happy. It's the same in every situation. It's the same with, like, even the bands that they choose, like, you cannot keep every single person happy, but, you just have to try and see the bigger picture and think, "Right, okay, we've kind of put out a statement here. Like, not everybody is gonna be happy, but you have to try and keep as many people happy, and then hope it blows over and that, the festival then speaks for itself," which is what happened. Because then people got on site and there weren't any issues with that. Like, it just wasn't a problem. And actually, like, at the time, I was thinking to myself, like, "Oh my god, like, my life is difficult right now." You're working then, like, 7 a.m. till midnight every day, like, and stuff like that. So you're shattered. And I was thinking, like, please just give me a nice, easy ride when we get on site. And that's what happened. Then it was, so I think, we had the kind of issue ahead of time, the challenge. And then we got on site and it was so smooth. It was like, I think, one of the smoothest years ever. And like, and actually, they had a customer satisfaction survey back like a couple of weeks ago. They had 98% customer satisfaction, which I didn't even think was possible. Like, that's nuts, I think. Like the nature of people, like people like to complain. Like, so I think like that is like off the charts, like amazing. I had little goosebumps and someone told me that. I was like, oh my God. So, like I think, and then obviously we had like sunny year. Like everyone was just saying like this was my best download ever. Like it was so amazing. Like all the reviews were like talking about how good like the production was, the facilities were. Like people were talking about how good the toilets were. Like I thought this is bizarre. I've never talked so much about toilets in my life. But, in the end it ended up being like such a success. And like so, in the end it's always fine.
In the background, is it just like crisis meeting, everyone gets together and you decide what's going to be said?
There's a bit
And
of
then
that.
does anything else happen? Do you double down on press that is going to be positive, or?
Yeah, I think like with stuff like that, like with that, I think you're kind of a bit sensitive to it. So you kind of will avoid anything for a little bit while it's really like, because you just know like if you then post something overly positive, then all the comments going to be like, yeah, but what about this kind of thing. So you kind of do have to let it die down and not like, I guess, antagonize people. But then I think then after that, obviously, what you like to do is kind of then put out positive stories and be like, oh, look how nice this is. Look how nice this is. And, hope that people think about the positives more.
Is it a little bit easier on your side when you know that you've got an event that's going to go great and there's years of history of it working out well? Because if that had been a new thing, it could be like tarnishing your reputation, but with download at the end of it, it's not going to.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like, obviously, there's never any guarantees on anything. So, like, you obviously always hope for, like, a really lovely, smooth event. But, like, anything can happen at any time. So, I don't think you ever take that for granted. I don't think you ever just think, like, oh, yeah, this can be easy breezy. Like, we did know that like with that situation, we knew that that would be fine in person. So it was really frustrating because you wanted to be like, oh, just get there and you'll see it's completely fine. Like it's no different to how it's ever been. Like it's exactly as it's always been, if not better. Um, so with stuff like that, like obviously you do know that it will be good, and you know that the people behind it are obviously such pros. They've done it for years and years. Like it does just continue to get better. Um, so obviously you have a bit more peace of mind with that than with something that has never happened before, because obviously you can't really imagine it until you're there and it's happening. But yeah, I think with anything though, um, you don't really ever take anything for granted. You kind of hope. You hope for the best and you think like, oh, please be nice and smooth.
Are there any things where you sort of plan ahead if something goes wrong? Like Cirque du Soleil, someone could get hurt. Is that something where you're more aware that this is a high risk event and there's contingencies?
Like you have like kind of crisis comms documents. So you have like some kind of pre-made like statements just in case. I mean, we are quite lucky in that I don't think we've ever really had to use them, or it's been very rare. Because like, it's very rare that something goes wrong, but obviously you just have to be prepared for it. But yeah, I'm lucky, touch wood, that all the Cirque du Soleils I've worked on, nothing has ever gone wrong, and it's been lovely. Like the only thing I ever saw was at a rehearsal. It was in Wakefield. They like there's a massive rehearsal space there that I think like Beyonce and like mad people have like used it. They were rehearsing there, and I took some press, and there was one act that's like it's like a treadmill like across the stage, and they do these like mad flips on this like on this. And one of them I was watching, and he just went flying off the stage, and I was like, "Oh my God." And I just thought, "That's it, he's broken his neck." And then I looked, and then he just like he'd gone flying, and he just like got off the floor, bounced up, and carried on. I was like, "That is mad." But I think like they're obviously, that's their job. That's all they do. They're so used to like they know how to land. Like they obviously have lots of kind of safety measures in place. Like it is all very safe. Like but like it's then insane what they do. Like I will never like it will never stop blowing my mind. Like every time I watch it, I'm just like, that's wild. Like you think every time. Like, yeah.